There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to go. Simply observe. Simply be. Robert Adams called this the beginning of true peace. When he said, "Do not react. Simply observe." He was not giving a technique, he was pointing you back to your original nature. A nature that has never been touched by chaos, never been disturbed by life, never been pulled into the storms of the world. And yet, for most of us, life seems to pull us in every direction. People act unconsciously, situations erupt suddenly, words are spoken that wound. Moments arise that shake the mind, tighten the body, and trigger our old habits. The impulse to react is immediate, automatic, like a match catching fire. The moment it is struck, we defend, we attack, we explain, we justify, we protect an image, a story, a sense of me that we believe is fragile. But Robert Adams, with the gentleness of a sage who lived beyond the storm, offered a radically different possibility. Do not react, simply observe. Not as passivity, not as weakness, but as the highest form of mastery. This is the secret to unshakable inner peace. Life does not ask your permission before changing its shape. People come and go, circumstances shift, the mind races, emotions rise like waves in a restless ocean. Yet beneath this movement there is a depth within you, a stillness, quiet and untouched, a space that does not move when everything else moves. Robert Adams lived from this depth. He would often sit silently, a soft smile on his face, watching the world as if watching clouds drift across the sky, not resisting, not clinging, not fighting, not interpreting, just observing. If you stayed with him long enough, you could feel it. The silence around him was not emptiness. It was presence. A presence that needed nothing, feared nothing, and defended nothing. This silence is not unique to Robert Adams. It is your own self. It is who you are beneath the reactions, beneath the mind, beneath the stories you carry about yourself. The only thing blocking this recognition is the habit of reacting, the habit of believing you are the thoughts and emotions that come and go. We learn to react from childhood. Someone shouts, we shout back. Someone disapproves, we defend. Someone challenges, we fight, withdraw, or collapse. Reactivity becomes a lifestyle. A constant readiness for conflict. You may not notice it, but almost every reaction is rooted in fear, fear of being misunderstood, fear of losing something, fear of being insignificant, fear of not being enough. And the mind thrives on this fear. It needs your reaction to survive. When you react, the mind becomes the master and you the servant. But the moment you pause, the moment you simply observe without reacting, the entire structure collapses. This is why Robert Adams taught non-reaction not as a tactic, but as liberation. Between stimulus and response, between trigger and reaction, between the world and your interpretation of it, there is a small gap, a sacred pause. Most people never notice it. They move from impulse to action so quickly that the entire sequence feels automatic. But Robert Adams invites you to notice this gap. It is tiny. It is subtle. But it is there. Someone raises their voice. The body tightens. The mind prepares its defense, and right here, right before the words leave your mouth, there is a moment of choice. Will you react, or will you observe? In that pause, even if it lasts only a second, something shifts. The awareness that witnesses the reaction is revealed. The you that is free, the you that is untouched, the you that is not the reaction begins to shine through. This is the beginning of mastery. Not the mastery of controlling the world, but the mastery of remembering who you truly are. Robert Adams often said, "The mind is not your friend. It is not your enemy. It is simply not you." The mind generates interpretations, judgments, and reactions like a machine, endlessly producing noise. And for most of your life, you have assumed that this noise is your identity. But the moment you observe the mind instead of obeying it, you step out of the illusion. If you can watch a thought, you cannot be the thought. If you can observe an emotion, you cannot be the emotion. If you can witness a reaction rising, you are not the reaction. You are the one who is aware of these things. This is why Robert Adams emphasized it in reaction not as an act of willpower but as an act of recognition. When you recognize that you are the observer, reactions lose their power. They may still arise, but they no longer own you. Imagine the sky during a storm, lightning flashes, thunder shakes the air, winds tear through the trees, rain falls in sheets, but above the storm, The sky remains open, spacious, untouched. You are the sky. Your reactions are the storm. But you have been living as if you are the storm, as if every emotion defines you, as if every thought is a command, as if every event requires a response, as if every moment is a battlefield. Robert Adams invites you to step back into your true nature, the vast, open sky in which all storms appear and disappear. The storms will still come, but they will pass through you instead of possessing you. Pure observation is not cold or distant. It does not disconnect you from life. It connects you more deeply than ever before. Because when you observe without reacting, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see things clearly. Reactions distort perception. They blur your vision. They turn a simple moment into a personal attack, a misunderstanding into a threat, a disagreement into a war. But when observation replaces reaction, you see the world as it is, untainted by fear, judgment, or ego. You become capable of responding not from compulsion, but from clarity. This is not passivity. This is intelligence. This is compassion. This is wisdom in action. Reactions will still arise. The body is conditioned. The mind has momentum. Old patterns take time to dissolve. But when a reaction appears, there is no need to fight it, and no need to suppress it, and no need to judge yourself. Simply observe. Observe the heat in the chest. Observe the tightening of the stomach. Observe the emotion rising. Observe the story forming in the mind. And as you observe, a beautiful truth reveals itself. You are the one watching. You are not the reaction. In this recognition, the reaction loses its fuel. It fades on its own, like a wave that rises and falls back into the ocean. This is the gentle power of non-reaction. People may still act unconsciously, situations may still challenge you. Life may still bring difficulties, but something fundamental changes. You stop taking things personally. You stop assuming everyone is attacking you. You stop interpreting everything through the lens of me, my, mine. Instead, you become a witness to life, fully present, deeply compassionate, but inwardly free. You respond when needed, but you do not react. You engage with life, but you are not enslaved by it. You feel emotions, but they do not dominate you. You move through the world, but your center remains still. This is true freedom. Imagine this in your everyday moments. Someone speaks harshly. Instead of reacting, you feel the rise of energy and simply observe it. You respond calmly, or you remain silent, but you do not lose yourself. Traffic becomes frustrating. Instead of tightening and complaining, you breathe, observe, and remain rooted in awareness that a loved one says something hurtful. Instead of defending or attacking, you notice the pain, observe it, and remain open. In each moment, you return to yourself. This is the living practice Robert Adams taught, not through effort but through remembrance. To return again and aga into the stillness beneath all things. Reactivity creates an inner war. You fight with yourself. You fight with memories. You fight with imaginations. You fight with the past. You fight with the future. But when you observe without reacting, the war ends. Not because you won, but because you stopped participating. In this stopping, peace reveals itself. A peace that was always here, waiting beneath the noise. Robert Adams knew this peace. He lived it quietly, without trying to convince anyone, without proclaiming greatness, without seeking recognition. Peace is not dramatic. It does not announce itself. It simply is, and when you stop reacting, you sink into this peace naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. There is a place within you that has never been touched by fear, never been wounded by words, never been shaken by events. It is still. Silent. Whole. Complete. It is who you are when all reactions fall away, when all ideas about me dissolve, when all stories rest. Robert Adams called this your real self. It is not something you become. It is something you remember. It has always been here beneath every reaction, beneath every thought, beneath every emotion. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to perfect yourself. You do not need to fix your past. You need only to stop reacting long and notice the silence within you that has been here from the beginning. When you begin living from this stillness, something beautiful happens. Your presence becomes healing. Your calm becomes contagious. Your silence becomes comforting. Your clarity becomes grounding. Not because you try, not because you preach, but because peace radiates naturally when you are no longer pulled into the storm. Others feel it around you. They sense something different, a gentleness, a quiet strength, a softness that does not collapse, and a firmness that is not harsh. This is the power of non-reaction. It transforms you and everyone you meet. When chaos comes, and it will, pause, observe, return to yourself. When the mind demands a reaction, smile gently and let it pass. When fear rises, watch it with compassion. When anger appears, witness it without becoming it. When life shakes you, remember, you are the stillness. You are the sky. You are the awareness in which all things come and go. This has always been true. You simply forgot for a moment. Now is the time to remember. Do not react. Simply observe. And in that observation, discover the freedom that no one can give you and no one can take away. Let these words soften within you. Let the concepts fade. Let the mind grow quiet. Sink beneath the noise. Rest in the truth that needs no explanation. The truth that Robert Adams pointed to again and again with silence, with compassion, with simplicity. The truth that you are eternal, unshakable, vast, and free. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to go. Simply observe. Simply be.